Turning now to the Buffalo Bills. It has been 5 hours since the Buffalo Bills officially named their next head coach, offensive coordinator Joe Brady, getting a big promotion for next season.
That deal is good for 5 years, we're being told, and we are joined live at 5 now by NFL insider and Sirius XM radio host, the best in the business, Vic Carucci.
Vic, are you surprised by this selection since the Bills stayed in-house because the fan reaction is not overall favorable?
Not surprised in the least, and I'm saying this humbly, but 6 days ago on X, I said I would not be surprised if the combination was Joe Brady as head coach, Brian Daboll as offensive coordinator. Missed on that one. Looks like he is headed for the Tennessee Titans in that capacity. But I felt the in-house move was always on the table, something this team was ready to do once it parted ways with Sean McDermott.
So, Vic, do you think that this is the pick that quarterback Josh Allen wanted? And how heavily do you think Pegula and Brandon Beane considered what Josh wanted?
I think Josh Allen definitely had input, but I don't think it was, who do you want, Josh? And he picks, fill in the blank, in this case, Joe Brady, and that's the guy who gets the job. I think it's a collaborative effort, but also important to, when you're making this hire, to know there is a relationship there, a foundation there, and success there. Josh Allen had an MVP season with this guy, comfortable with his scheming and thinking, and I think that relationship is important, but I don't know that it's the be-all, end-all. It had to fit other criteria, not the least of which is the new structure within the Bills with Brandon Beane as president of football operations in addition to being the GM.
Vic, earlier people were saying there was possibly a power play in the works, but with this pick and knowing that the owner wants a Super Bowl appearance, what does this mean for how this team must produce next season?
Claudine, you hit on the key point in all of this. Just because there's a new face as the head coach, the same goal is there. This team sees itself, obviously the owner of this team, Terry Pegula, sees it as one that should be getting to and winning a Super Bowl, and that's the only job that Joe Brady has. It was the same job Sean McDermott had, and I don't necessarily even see any kind of grace period here. He's got the job, he's got the franchise quarterback, and it goes from here. The pressure is on to deliver a Super Bowl championship with this football team. So it doesn't change just because he's a first-year head coach. 5
years seems like a long contract, you would think.
That is true. 5 years.
Well, yeah. And it's a 5-year deal for sure. It does, obviously maybe give you some runway, but essentially a lot of 5-year deals never see the end right. if they move on from that particular coach.
It's going to be interesting. NFL insider and Sirius XM radio host Vic Carucci, as always, thank you so much for your insight and joining us live at 5. We know that Bills fans, we want to hear from you. Fans have a lot to say about Joe Brady being named head coach, so we're asking, how do you feel about the decision? Are you excited? Are you disappointed? Unsure? Optimistic but cautious? Text us your answer, 716-849-2220. We're going to share the results later tonight.